Hello everybody and welcome back to FM2020 with me, everyone, with York City, and we are here on the 28th of January. So, have I done any business? Have we done any deals? No, we haven't. We have had some activity. So we've had a bid rejected from Vancouver for Harry Pearce for 900k. His minimum fee release clause is 1 million. So that's why that got rejected. I just wanted them to pay $1 million. They weren't going to do it, so that got rejected. And we did have a bid come in for George Fontanelli. I thought it was all good. I thought he was going to be going to Barnsley, but he has rejected that contract, so he is staying as well, which is a little bit of a shame. I am in the bidding process for this player, though. He is a 17-year-old left-back from Slovian Bratislava. Someone let me know if I said that right. He is a left back, and I think he looks quite tasty. The fact that he is 17 years old, his current value is 26k. He's estimated between these kind of values, which is okay. His minimum wage demand is 8,000 because that is the minimum you have to give a player for a work permit. But we're going to get around that by giving him £3,000 a week, which will give him a work permit for the under 23s. That's how that works, so that's how we're going to get around it. He does shoot from distance, which is an odd trait for a left back who only has 8 long shots, but we're glossing over that. Talking about him like I've already got him. I haven't got him yet. There is one issue. One, this bid is a bid that their team didn't exactly want to accept. They are looking for a bit more money. I'm trying to get him under estimated costs. I may have to go up to about 500k. I think that's about as high as I would go because I think we can spin a profit off him eventually. He is very good. I have done a little bit of comparison work. If we compare him, for example, very, very quickly to who I would consider our best left back, which is Kington. As you can see, just by these graphs right here, very, very even. Even in a couple of areas, he is better than Kington at 17 years old compared to 21. He has got a slight knock at the injury. It's just a little hamstring thing. Not too concerned about that. He has got some lovely stats all round. Determination 18, high bravery, same as Kington. His anticipation is good. He hasn't got the highest aggression, but he has got slightly better physical, slightly faster, and a little bit better balanced. That's the word I was looking for, balanced. He is also 6 foot, so he's quite a tall boy as well. So again, looking at all of this, the only one that Kington edges him on overall would be the average on the technicals. So for a 17-year-old, I think that's tasty. There is one other issue though. He's wanted by some bigger sides than us. Bologna and Udinese and Bologna are monitoring the situation, so I feel like if we get a bid accepted by this side, he's going to Bologna or Udinese for the same price. That is where it's going to happen. We're just going to have a gamble though. That is who we are trying to sign. To the league table, we are in a playoff spot. And as you can see as well, we have 2 games in hand over a couple of other teams ahead of us, including Sunderland, Ipswich and Luton. And we have 1 over Chesterfield and Blackburn. So all in all, we're in an excellent position. We also have 2 games at hand over the team in 7th, which is Oxford, which is even more important. At this point, though, our run of form has been so good, I am looking at 2nd of the table. I'm thinking, can we go and snag that final automatic playoff spot? That is something that we would like to do. Oh, transfers. I did bring in 1 more player. Where is he? Did I bring him in? Yeah, I brought him in. Where is he? There he is. I went and signed him on loan or free because I wanted a right wing back because I thought Fontanelli was going, and now Fontanelli's not gone, so I have 3 very nice right wing backs. He's only on loan for. I could cancel the loan. No, I can't terminate the loan. I should have put the clause in so I could terminate it. I have been signing a couple of weird players in the background, like Oliver Sharp. He's not really a signing; he's just something that I picked up on a gamble. So you know, he's in the youth team. Don't worry about him. He's nothing. He's from Ebbsfleet, which is our affiliate side. That's how you get bargains. Let's get through the schedule, and then we'll get to the Grimsby game. Last time out, we saw us, snap our poor run of form when it comes to the league. If you look up here, draw, loss. There's a win there, but then we go and draw. and then we go and lose again. So a bad run of form in the league, and finally been snapped with a 2-0 victory over Portsmouth, Peterborough should I say, not Portsmouth. We then go to Plymouth and draw 1-1. Mooney with the late equaliser in that one. Excellent little a point away from home to a pretty solid side, which is Plymouth. We then beat bottom of the table 1-0, which is MK Dons. Carl McFarlane with a goal in that one. You're going to notice a little pattern as well. We don't concede many goals of late. We have kept a lot of clean sheets, which has been brilliant. 2-0 victory over Rochdale, who were then bottom of the table. They went below MK Dons in the table. They were then bottom again. So we've had a run of games against some pretty easy opposition, should I say. 2-0 on that one. Liam Roper with 2 goals. So we've got Mooney scoring, McFarlane scoring, Roper scoring, and then we have Brian Scott scoring. Carl McFarlane scored early on against QPR, the side that beat us in the playoffs last season. Chair then scored a wonderful left-footed volley. Brian Scott kills the game off in the final minute though. We have lost a game since last episode, but it was in the Leasing Cup North 3rd round. Don't care about that. We didn't rest the sides. I wish I did, because I didn't realise it was a cup game until too late. But we got away with that one. I'm happy to lose that one. It doesn't really bother me. We were poor really throughout. Walsall, we were not poor against. Brian Scott with 2 goals in 5 minutes beats Walsall. We were excellent throughout in this one, and we deserved all 3 points. And we have just played Carlisle, where Brian Scott has scored again. He is now top goal scorer for the club. We win that 1-0. They had a player sent off, and I tried to get some more goals to try and help our goal difference out, because I think it might be important. Didn't happen though, as we look at the league table, and we look at goal difference over here, 13 compared to 23, 17 and 22. We're better than Sunderland, who's got 8. That's weird, isn't it? Weird to have a team second in the table with only 8 goal difference. You can go down to 8th who have a better goal difference than that. Interesting to see. One more thing to catch you up on. We've had a big change of tactics. That is, for the first time, I've moved away from the traditional 5 at the back formation, which we've been playing for a long time in this series. 6 seasons of that has now been snapped to this narrow 4-4-2 diamond shape, which is effectively the same kind of formation really, because Oooft is a half-back, playing quite well actually, for a player that I've hated on quite a bit. Started to develop, he's putting up solid numbers in around a 7, he's doing quite well in that half-back role. So basically, the same kind of thing happens. Kington launches forward, David launches forward on the wings, Oooft drops back into a back 3. We've got 2 centre mids to shuttle around and Saunders to distribute the ball. The only difference is we've got a Langford in and around the strikers just to help them a little bit more. And we don't have a striker dropping in to be a playmaker anymore. We just have Roper being the pressing forward, which has been working out a little bit better. So, slight tweak to the system. We're doing very much the similar things. If we compare the recent match analysis on that, if you compare that to that tactic that's there, you can't do that, but you should be able to do that. Our match analysis, though, if you remember last episode, we had lots of negatives, only about 2 positives. We now have a lot more of these. We should be doing a couple other little things. It's a high tempo because we're not converting enough touches into games. I prefer having the football. I prefer being very good with the football and grinding teams down, which is what we've been doing of late. So may that hopefully continue and lead us towards a very good back end of the season. Because if we have a good second half of the season here, I'm not going to lie, we win our 2 games in hand, we go to 56 points, and say everyone else wins their games in hand. So 56, you'll be on 58. We're going to be 2 points away from automatic playoffs. I think Blackburn are the only side that you can consider safe. They're gone in this one. They're totally out of here. But second place is doable, so that is the aim of the game. Let's get to tactics and confirm the lineup for this one. Ryan Boyle is actually quite a good player, and I wouldn't mind him on the bench, but he's not going to be on the bench for this one. And also, Harry Pearce, he is still wanted by an American side, so fingers crossed Columbus come in for about $1 million for him. As we paid 100,000 for him, I believe. Yeah, 100k. So if we can spin 900k profit from him, I'll be quite happy. If we don't though. Is the way that one goes. Langford has been poor of late. That is the only concern I have, as Langford has been very, very poor of late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Saunders in that role. And I want to drop Langford for Coyle. I think just for this one, mate, you can just go box to box, maybe, or centre mid support. Just go centre mid support, and yeah, get rid of ease off tackles. You can just run around and fill the void in there, and we'll let Saunders try to pull the strings. He's on dribble S at the moment. Just for you, let's turn that off. Turn that off. Personalise. We'll get rid of that. We'll tell you to dribble more. Because you can actually dribble a football, Saunders. You are quite good at that. And we'll submit the team, and we'll get to the game. Opposition instructions have been done. We can now do the team talk and have a little chat to the boys. What do we want to be saying? I think we've been on a good run of form lately. Is this anything? Oh, Jesus Christ. We've got so many options here, haven't we? Look at all of these, boys. Look at all of these. They are 20th in the table, and we are currently third when it comes to the forward table. Let's prove why. Let's show them why that is. Let's see if we can pound their misery. We are due a loss in the league. It's going to happen at some point. We have ridden our luck in a couple of the games, but we have also been very good throughout as well. As we let kickoff get underway, I have just realised I left my window open, so if you can hear traffic outside, I apologise. It's very hot in England at the moment, and I don't particularly feel like sweltering myself too much. After I went out yesterday in my car, because I've got a soft top, burnt all my chest, because, I didn't wear sun cream. Don't do that. As we clear the first corner only as far as Clifton. Good kick away. Now Lake can bring it forward. Go on, there's a good counter-attack option here. Keep going, Lake. Keep going. Back stick is probably the ball. And he goes for it. Reese heads away. Coyle closes the man down, but the highlight ends as we get this game fully underway, really. In this downpouring rain, which is pretty ugly to see. We haven't actually had a shot yet, and they've had more possession. We have been out-possessioned in a couple of games and still beaten sides quite comfortably as well. We're quite good at converting chances, which has been nice to see. Here is Baines. Little chip ball out wide to Kington. Now it's Coyle. Back to Kington. Lovely little 1-2. That is. Pulls it to Scott near post who shoots. And Makio punches it away. Roper does collect. Big swing and a miss on that one. Clifton heads away to Alvarez and the highlight ends. That was a decent chance by Scott. Good football on the left-hand side by Kington. I like that a lot. Here's Reese with the throw-in. Down to Clifton, who just walks straight through someone. Baines heads away, only as far as Roper, who will knock it forward on this left-hand side for Scott to pick up just around the halfway line. Baines with a long ball down the centre of the park. That's easily picked up by Clifton, and possession is Grimsby's with the goalkeeper. Now out wide on the right-hand side, and now Phillips through. Phillips into the box and shoots. Good save by Giles and kicked away by Baines. That wasn't good. That one ball undone us very, very easily there. Very easily. We are what I would consider even Stevens at the moment with this side. Even Stevens at the moment. We are a lot better at converting shots onto target. That is something that I will say. Might just make them work the ball into the box, and I might just up the tempo a tad, just so they're a little bit more flexible with the way that we can play. We can try to speed it up a little bit if we want. We're trying to force the play down the centre because we have four midfielders who I think are good enough technically to keep hold of the ball and produce chances from that. As Davis heads away from that one. Now it's Burke. What a name that is. That is Alvarez at back post, wide open, and Giles tips around the post for another corner. Shout. Demand more. Still need that wake the up shout. I really do. Baines heads away at near post, and the highlight ends. We are focused up from that one, and Kington is at 76%. Kington's been struggling with fitness of late. He really has been. We've been battered in January. We've had a lot of games, and it's been a brutal month. I'm glad to see the back end of it, really. Especially with some great results that we've had as well. Lovely from the defence. The defensive work, despite having fought the back, something that I didn't like at the start of the game, is working out. Davis to Oooft, who's just trying to find a little hole. Now it's Lake, Coyle, Kington, Scott near post, shoots, and the goalkeeper tips it or punches it, palms it. Weird little save animation that is. Anyway, it's out for a corner. Kington can deliver. It's in towards Oliver at near post. Scott will collect. Can he find Kington? He does. Kington just finds Baines with a little ball backwards. Now it's Oooft trying to dictate the play. I really have rated Oooft of late. He was terrible when I first got him, and I really was worried. But he settled down quite well, and yeah, it's quite handy to have. He might be selling us some jerseys as well in Nigeria, which is always a bonus to have. A little bit of abroad shirt sellage, as they say. Saunders to Lake, a little bit of a square ball. Lake back to Oooft, and Oofts it towards Scott. Reese with the ball over the top, and Phillips is away again. And Giles, did he tip it? Was it a save or not? Oh, straight out for a goal kick. Giles closed him down very well. The defence has looked a little bit ropey, but probably the worst it's looked in a long time, and Saunders is suffering in that attacking playmaker role. So one thing I have spotted is like that attacking playmaker role is either lights out or it's dead. Like, I either get a great rating from it or I get nothing from it, and that is concerning to see. Kington with the ball in, and Scott heads straight over the crossbar. Half-time at 0-0. I've been here quite a lot recently when it comes to half-time. 0-0, we're not, the most electric when it comes to goal scoring. We're just a plucky side who picks up a goal or two, allows the defence to keep a clean sheet, and we pick up results like that. Oooft has been our best player, completing a lot of passes. He's doing alright, He's doing alright, Mr. Oooft. I'm not pleased with the result, though. I'm not pleased with the performance so far. We need to change something up top. Something up top that is not quite working. Is it the pace that we're playing? We're going to be a little bit more expressive. Allow the boys to be a little bit more expressive. And we're going to change who we're distributing to. Just seeing as a little tip. If you don't know this is here. You can, tell the goalkeeper to distribute to a certain player. We're going to start distributing to a different player all entirely. I think what we're going to do instead, not slow the pace down of the ball, we're going to start distributing to the fullbacks and allow them to bring the ball out of the defence. Bring the ball out of the defence and try and work from there. We're good enough to build the ball from the back. We should have enough creativity on the pitch to do the damage. I might swap Saunders and Coyle over and bring Langford on for Coyle if I need to. Try and add a little bit more creative spark, but nothing needed so far. Here is Coyle, back to Oooft. Nice little square pass, back to Baines. Now it's Oliver on his right hand side. He chips the ball down the right wing for Davis to drive into the open space. Davis with a cross in, looking for Scott. It's gone all the way through. Scott then finds Kington. He's in the box. Can he get the ball across? He can. In towards Roper. It's heads away. Only as far as Oooft, though, who plays a lovely little couple of passes to Coyle, who finds Kington. Kington battles into the box, but is stopped by about two players there. Kington's having a wonderful game out on that left-hand side. He was thwarted eventually, though, and the minutes start tumbling once again. Let's have a little shout for Get Creative, because I feel like we're good enough to win this one. And a nice little win here does really set us up for another great push. Here is Davis. Ooh, good gnarly tackle, but he skips over that one. Pulls it back for Saunders. Can he pick a hole? No, he can't. No, he just drops it back to Davis. He pops it into midfield for Oooft just to knock it down for Lake. Back to Oooft. Keeping it simple, Mr. Oooft. Coyle out with a big switch to Davis. Crossing to near post. Roper brings it down, but the shot is blocked. Back to Davis on his right hand side. Towards Scott, and it's hooked away by Reese. And now at the Phillips. Up against Baines. The free kick has been awarded for an offside. You should never be offside there in a million days there, Phillips. You should do a lot better for your side. He's 6'2". He's having a bad game, Mr. Phillips up top. We have done the job of shutting him down. Well, we haven't done the job. He's missed two opportunities to score, and that shot his confidence, which has been excellent for us. 63 minutes in, I think it's time for the first substitute of the game, and it's going to be Kington. Despite having a very, very good game so far, Ryan Giles is the more attacking player on the left-hand side, and he is a lot fitter than Kington due to 68 fitness. I'm not 100% happy with having that on the pitch, so we'll take him off. And I think the next one might be I might go free up top, and I might start launching the ball a little bit more direct down the gullet, just to try and nick a goal and kill this game. We have done that a couple of times in the recent games, just to nick a goal and then we shut it down very easily. Here is Roper towards back to Lake. Now Davis on the right hand side. Oof, lovely little square pass to Coyle. Doesn't really do anything with it though. Midfielder just playing the ball around with him so far. Now it's Giles out the left hand side. Acres and acres of space. Early cross to Scott. headed just over the crossbar. I think Giles could do a little bit more there with the ball. Like, he found Scott with the cross, but I feel like he has time to just run into the box and then try and cause a little bit more mayhem. Now it's Giles again that's left hand side after a poor corner. Oooft. Saunders. Can you do something, Saunders? Can you try and spark something? No. Lake and Oooft play a little simple football. Oooft is having a wonderful game yet again in that deep half-back role. Really has found it his own, really. He really has been enjoying that. Scott's coming off, I'll tell you that much. Scott's done. Scott is done for the day, and I think it's going to be Carl McFarlane. We'll swap McFarlane and Roper over. We will start with them up top. Next game as well. I'm not going to start Scott next game. He has been the best form striker-wise, but every now and then he goes really off the ball, and this is one of them days. He hasn't had any luck. We have got a great conversion ratio of shots to shots on target, which is nice to see. But with the minutes tumbling into the final few minutes, I think it's time to try and kill the game off. Saunders looks like the man. Problem with that though is Coyle is tired as well, and so is Lewis Baines really badly, and so is Leon Davis. Do we go for the point? Let's have a little look at the league table. What's going to happen? Exeter will overtake us. Luton how are Luton doing? Are Luton picking up points? Can I find a Luton? No, they are losing. Ipswich are winning by the looks of it. Yes, they are 2-1. We could do with a win here, because all of the other sides in and around us are winning, and that is going to extend that gap a little bit again, so we need to be a little bit aggressive with our substitution. Mooney for Saunders, and we are going to stick a Mooney straight up top. Advance forward, Roper can be that pressing forward on this side, pressing forward attack, and I'm going to drop McFarlane to a deep line forward support. We're going to go for it, boys. We're going to go for it. You can go to ball winner midfield as support, and we're going to start passing the ball a little bit more direct, just as we try and get the ball a little bit further forward, a little bit faster, just so we can get the just so we can try and get a goal, should I say, not a ball. Let's distribute it to Roper, because he is tall and I feel like he might be up against a fullback there, and if he's up against a fullback, he's going to win headers all day long. That would be lovely to see. If you can distribute that straight to Roper's head, we might get a chance out of that. A little bit more direct, a little bit more hoof ball, but you've got to give it a go. 0-0. Suffocating game by Grimsby. They've done a great job. Let's shout for push forward. One final time. Let's go attacking. Let's see if we can get something out of this. And we have a highlight. Can we get something? Oooft. Looking for McFarlane. That's a poor ball. But McFarlane and Lake have done well to win the ball back. Now it's Coyle. Now back to Oooft. Lovely raking pass out to the left-hand side for Giles, who gets to cross in towards McFarlane, who scores! It's a late goal yet again for York City. And it is Carl McFarlane who's done it with his 10th goal of the season. We really have been magical. Oooft, I'm just gonna just clap for Oooft. That's a wonderful pass. Giles finds McFarlane in the back post, and that's a killer. That's a real killer, that is. Let's come off freaking that, I'll tell you that much. Holy moly. Time to go balanced. Let's stop overlapping, I'll tell you that much. Let's be a little bit more disciplined. And let's try and slow the game down a touch in transition. You can stop counter. Yeah, you might as well counter press. We've got 3 up top. Can't do anything about that. And I will just drop you down a tad. And you can do all of that stuff, boys. Wow. That is one hell of a reaction from the boys. We said to push forward, we went attacking, and we gambled on the extra striker. And it left Carl McFarlane free for the header. And then we just watched the minutes tumble. Giles to the final couple of kicks of the game. You can see, now it's Burke. Do not, game. Do not. There is... Oh, I had a feeling, but it didn't happen. Stunning. I'm not sure Brian Scott had 0 chances this game. I've seen him header the football over the crossbar twice, so I think it's a little bit critical. But, whatever. Their striker misses their chance, and Carl McFarlane comes off the bench to rescue the game. Oooft. How did Oooft do? How did Mr. Oooft do? A 6.9. I'm tempted to look at the analysis of players right now, because I think Oooft done great. What did he do? He had a couple of shots. I just think he's great. I really do like him. Where's his passes? What did he do? 24 passes. He put up some great numbers, Oooft did. Oooft really did. He played 2 passes out of play and he had 8 of them intercepted. And he completed, what was that, 94 passes. And the all-important one, which was that big sweeping ball out to that left-hand side, probably that pass right there, that was the killer. Team talk. Calmly, well done. You survived off that, and we are now into 5th in the table, still with 2 games in hand over Ipswich, so a chance to leapfrog Ipswich still. And we are past Luton with 2 games in hand over Luton as well. And what is that? Cool, look at that. Joint points to Sunderland. Chance to go 2nd of the table if we win all our games in hand. Chesterfield will go a little bit higher up, so I suppose Chesterfield will go 2nd if they win that game. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. That's been excellent. That was a cracking late winner. And I'm really happy to see the good run of form continue. We've been really nitty and gritty at times. And our defence has been excellent. Since we changed to 4 at the back, we've hardly conceded any goals. I have used the 5 at the back a couple of times, just in moments when we needed it, but not too much. When are we going to come back for? Well, I think that Luton game looks like a pretty tasty one, doesn't it? Yeah. If we come back for that Luton game, that is when we're going to come back. We've got Exeter there, Doncaster there. I might come a little bit later on that. I don't know. Oxford, maybe? I don't know. Luton or Oxford? I'm undecided. We're going to come back for Luton or Oxford, and I will see you there. Like, subscribe, all of that great stuff. Thank you for all of the guys who are watching these still. It blows my mind. You know, these people who watch and like, you're excellent. And I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.